Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to be talking about the AOC Pelosi skirmish, the back and forth conflict that is raging between AOC and Pelosi. Okay, we're going to talk about what this fight is, why it's happening, and who's right and who's wrong. Is it AOC right or is Pelosi right? All right. Let's talk about it. Okay, so it's really, really fascinating. So basically, every single week there is friction and there's sparks that come off between the contact points between AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Nancy Pelosi, right? They do not like each other. They frequently throw shade at each other. They're throwing jabs, man. It's serious. They do not like each other. Skirmish is the right word. I don't think it's a full-on battle because both of them are smart enough to realize they're on the same team. But without a doubt, their skirmish has definitely hurt both of them, and it's hurt the Democrat Party. Now, I'm not saying it shouldn't have happened. It absolutely should have happened. It absolutely needed to happen, and we'll talk about why that is. But what is it? Okay, why are AOC and Pelosi fighting? Well, first of all, it is AOC dropping into Congress. Okay, that's the number one as a congressperson. That's the first problem, okay? And the reason, so AOC is brand new. This is her first term. Pelosi's been there for decades. She's been there a long time. She's Speaker of the House. She knows everybody there. She knows the process. I mean, she don't play. She is hardcore, all about that game, right? And so basically AOC, first and foremost, is without a doubt a serious threat to Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is a power player, and game recognized game, right? She recognizes a power player when one shows up, okay? Now, the second AOC came in, right, she came hard at Pelosi and said to Pelosi, you need to be more impassioned about climate change. You need to be more impassioned about immigration. You need to be more impassioned about wealth imbalance, right? And really came right at her and was like, I challenge your passivity. I challenge that you are too low key on every single one of these issues, right? And AOC is not low key on any of those. She is not low key on climate change. She is not low key on immigration. She is not low key on wealth imbalance, right? And I think she really just dislikes the way Nancy Pelosi flows. Now, Nancy Pelosi is coming right back, and her issue with AOC is she's like, slow your roll. You just got here, right? I've been here forever. I'm queen. You need to shut your mouth and sit down, right? Vote the way I tell you to vote, and also listen more, right? I think that's Pelosi's juxtaposition to AOC, right? So she's really, that's a serious concern, right? And I just thought that was kind of, and I think that's the crux of the issue is they have two very, very different styles, and they are also absolutely both power players, right? Now, one thing I want to, so that is what the fight is. Let's talk a little bit about how the fight is occurring, right? So one of the things I think is interesting is, I think, they're both politicians, so a lot of people think this is political. This has absolutely nothing to do with politics. The AOC-Pelosi skirmish has zero to do with politics, right? Basically, this is a classic power jockey, right? AOC's rolling in, and she's like, everybody's, bow down, I'm here, right? She is just, she is showing up, and, she is taking, she is declaring herself as a power player from day one, right? And Nancy understands that, recognizes it, because she's a power player herself. This is classic power jockey, right? And basically, there's also the difference. There's also a methodology difference, right? This is nothing to do with politics, right? Basically, with Nancy Pelosi, she is a work the system person, and AOC is dismantle the system and rebuild it. Those are two Very, very different methodologies. Additionally, AOC is all about passion, and Pelosi is all about process. These two people could not be more different. They are really coming at it from a very different perspective. This really has absolutely nothing to do with politics. It's classic power jockeying, right? And classic differences in method, right? So the same thing, like if these two people were in a business together, I think you'd see the same type. If they were in the same corporation, you'd see the same type of power jockeying between them, right? All right, so basically, who's right and who's wrong, okay? Well, I think it's really interesting. I think AOC is coming at it, and she's like, I'm not going to pay my dues. I'm not going to wait, right? I'm here now, right? And she is just declaring that right now. And I think AOC is right and Pelosi is wrong. And the reason why is AOC's method is it's modern and it's baller, right? Like it just both, right? Whereas Nancy's methods they're really dated and they're archaic. I think she's from that day when, there was more like political machines where you had the smoke-filled rooms and, you needed to do these things to get things done. So I think Pelosi, AOC is absolutely right. She's not an intern. She's there on day one. And frankly, AOC, she's doing more than just serving as a house person. She's setting up her run for 2020 as president, her presidential campaign now, right? And she needs to declare her power position now in order to do that. And by the way, I get lots of people who correct me in the comments and say that AOC will not be eligible to run in 2024. That is absolutely incorrect. I've checked the list twice, right? She absolutely will be eligible in 2024. You can bet that AOC is going to be on the ticket is going to be a 2020 primary candidate. I'm not sure if she's going to be a Democrat. Almost certainly will be. Maybe on the independent side. Certainly not on the Republican side. Right? We know that ain't going to happen, right? So, but that's important to understand. I also want to say it's interesting. I think in this skirmish, AOC is right and Pelosi is wrong. But I do want to make it clear. One of the reasons why I'm choosing that is as far as the actual, there are these political stances, these methodology issues that they're fighting over, right? And so, let's take the three that AOC really cares about: climate change, immigration, wealth imbalance, right? These are major, major issues. She fundamentally disagrees with Nancy Pelosi's pace. She's like, you're too slow, right? Let's smash this stuff through the roof, right? And, and Nancy's like, slow down. We'll get this done. We'll work with people. Maybe it'll happen. And AOC is just like, I ain't having it. I ain't going to wait, right? Now, here's the kicker. I think AOC is wrong on every single issue. I believe what she believes on immigration, on wealth imbalance, and on climate change would make the country worse, right? And I think Nancy Pelosi's stance on all three of these issues is more correct, right? So why am I saying that AOC is right in this? Well, here's why. I fundamentally respect AOC more than I respect Nancy Pelosi because of her whole milieu, her nature, right? She is aggressive and wrong, right? Generally, I think AOC is aggressive and wrong, right? Whereas Pelosi is passive and right? Now, why would I choose somebody who's aggressive and wrong over somebody who's passive and right? Well, the reason why is, when you govern, when you're a leader, right, you have these standing issues that you have to make decisions on, right? Well, AOC is going to be wrong on most of her stances, right? But the thing is, she's aggressive and she attacks problems directly. And one of the things when you are a leader, right, there are going to be things that come out of left field. There are going to be things that happen that surprise you, right? And when that happens, you need that aggression, right? The other thing is, because she's aggressive, And she ends up being wrong a lot because I think aggression really pushes people to wrong ideas often, right? But here's the kicker, right? When people are aggressive and wrong, they actually believe most of the time what they're saying. Whereas people who are passive and right, they can be swayed, right? And often they're not choosing the right answer because they believe it. They're doing the right thing because they think that's what they can get done. And I fundamentally disrespect that approach. I think there's great people who are passive and right over aggressive and wrong. I do respect those people, but I absolutely respect it less. I have more respect for somebody who's aggressive and wrong than somebody who's passive and right. And here's another reason why I feel that so strongly. You can fix wrong. You can't fix passive, right? In this world, like, it is dog eat dog, right? Like, you have got to be a fighter in this world. You've got to have those hunter attributes, man. It's a hunter-prey world, right? And I will tell you right now, every time I'm going to bet on the hunter, right? And AOC, that's a hunter, right? Like, now, to tell the truth, Nancy Pelosi, she's got some hunter instincts too. But AOC, frankly, she just, I think she understands. She's reading the room better, and I think overall in this skirmish, the reality is Nancy Pelosi wanted AOC to show up, submit to Nancy's power, and and just kind of get in line. And AOC is like, I'm here, bow down, man. It's time, right? It's AOC time, and I think AOC is right and Pelosi's wrong. And boy, it has been a fascinating skirmish, and I don't think it's over. Right, like AOC is not going to back down. I think there's a possibility that both AOC and Pelosi will realize that this is damaging the party, and they'll tone it down. We shall see. All of that is what I think. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.